Hello students, welcome to today's session. This is Sweta Roy, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu, and today we are going to study start with the second session on footprints without feet. So in the first session I already completed the entire story, and today's session is going to deal with the important question answers and character, title, thematic concerns. So yes, I hope you have already gone through the story in the previous session, and now we are here. Let's discuss the question answers, right? So, Footprints Without Feet, you all know it's written by H.G. Wells and it has been taken from which one? Yes, tell me, come on, in the chat box, quickly write the name of the novel from where this Footprints Without Feet has been extracted. Yes, so it is from the famous novel, The Invisible Man. So, yes, we have completed with the analysis of the story. A second. So we are complete. We have already done the analysis of the story, and today we are going to do the important question and answers. So let us move ahead. And first, let me talk about a beautiful quote. Let me tell you a beautiful quote. Narrate a beautiful quote. Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. Very powerful line. We have guided missiles and misguided men. So don't you think that this is also talking about the misuse of science and technology? So in the previous session, I already talked about the misuse, and I already talked about the fact that with great power comes great responsibility. So definitely scientific power, the technological advancement, technology, science, these are all powerful weapons, and the person who has this power, the scientists, they also have a great responsibility towards the nation. So if they use this tremendous power for the benefit of the human civilization, we will be advanced. But if a person is like Griffin misusing this power, then we will be backwards. We will be traveling backwards. As you can see, the current state of pandemic, right? So we all are facing the adverse effects. Don't you think so, guys? So this is actually depending on the person. So yes, the person has to be very far-sighted. If he has the power, if he is a brilliant scientist just like Griffin, it won't do. You need to be a far-sighted person as well. Along with the brilliance that you have, you also need to be a very far-sighted and a good human being first. So being a good human being imbued with the spirit of humanity, the selfless nature, that makes you a great person along with the brilliance, right? So just having a brilliant mind is not enough. You need to be more than that in order to be a good human being. So that is what we are going to. So this story is not just about the adventures of Griffin, but this is something related to the misuse of science and technology. So it has a wider message, right? So let us talk about that. So the first question is, how would you assess Griffin as a scientist and a human being? So as I told you, it's not just about Griffin as a scientist, but the most important part is how would you assess him as a human being? If you have already done about the famous scientist. You have done a story on the famous scientist, I think in class 9, Albert Einstein. You all know. So he was just not simply a brilliant mind, but he was also a very good human being, because he was the person who warned US when the German people, Hitler during the time of Hitler, the Nazis, they actually they discovered this, this, what is that called, this atom bomb, right, the theory. So he actually he warned US against this, right? And in the same way, unfortunately, in the same year, atom bomb was hurled at two places of Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And after that, he was so shaken that he also went on to promote the world peace. So that is what we call as a great human being. So it's not just important to become a good scientist, because brilliant scientist can also lead, he can also misguide or mislead, right? But a good human being will never do that. So that is very, very important. So now let us see what qualities or values would you suggest will make him a better person. So Griffin was an eccentric scientist. What did he? How would you judge him as a scientist? He was definitely brilliant because he had developed a theory which would make him invisible. Griffin became invisible not for the welfare of the society. So that is what we need to talk about here. What are we doing for the society? If we have, as I told you, with great power, this is very important. With great power comes great responsibility, right? So if you are a scientist, you have a big responsibility towards the betterment of society. But what did he do? He just went on to satisfy his selfish motives and carried out satanic deeds. You can all see, you can have a look at all the deeds that he committed, as I already discussed in the previous video. He was a brilliant scientist but not a law-abiding person. He was a criminal who had no respect for humanity, who didn't care about others. He stole money. So now you will also talk about what are the incidents that happened with Griffin, and how can you say that he was not at all a law-abiding person and he was a lawless person. So now you need to talk about the various episodes. The clergyman episode, he was rude to everyone. He was having an irritable temper, and he escaped. He hid them. When anyone asked about his secret, he hid them and escaped. So you can also talk about the landlord's house. Okay. You can also talk about the ending when he had hit Mr. Japers, right? And what would you suggest? This is completely on you. So definitely we would suggest him to have empathy, kindness, helpfulness, honesty, and the most important is social responsibility. This value will definitely not only make him a better person, but people like him, who are there in the society, they need to have this responsibility, so that they could be helpful, and this would also make the surrounding better, not just an individual but the entire society, and then after society comes nation as well. So he would have used this discovery, should have used this discovery for the benefit of the society and his country. Then he would also have gained some fame, right? And now he is infamous. Next question. Curious episode in the study, which is an important question because it could come in your papers as well. So Griffin, he came to Iping village. It's not Aping, it's Iping. Okay. And then he ran short of money. He had to pay his rent. What did he do? He entered the clergyman's house, and when he was taking away the money, the clergyman and his wife, they heard his sound. And then they came downstairs. They tried to look into the matter, but unfortunately they could see no one, but only could hear the chink of money being taken away. Alright. So definitely they could not see anyone. And then Griffin came back to his room and he paid the his dues to the landlady. But of course, everyone started to suspect him because earlier he had said that he did not have a ready cash, right? Mrs. Hall called a policeman. He tried to arrest Griffin, but Griffin made himself invisible and also again escaped the arrest. Right, so that was the curious episode about in the clergyman's room. Next, the other extraordinary thing. So these episodes are very important because the entire story deals with actually the episodes. So definitely they are very important. And when you are writing the character sketch of Griffin, you actually need to write about these episodes, right? So this episode talks about when Mrs. Hall and her husband went into the scientist's room, and then, however, he was not seen in the room, but Mrs. Hall heard a sniff and hat, and then the hat on the bedpost leapt up and dashed into her face. The bedroom chair also became live, and both of them were pushed out of the room. And they heard somebody locking the door from behind. This made Mrs. Hall think that her furniture was haunted. The room was haunted, right? So that was the other. And yes, when she was coming down, she ran down and she was almost falling down. She actually fell down from the stairs in hysterics. That also you need to mention. Griffin was rather a lawless person. Comment. This could also be added in the character sketch. So when I will do the character sketch of Griffin, I will not do this separately. So please take the answer from here as well when you are mentioning about the character sketch of Griffin. So Griffin was scientist, but he was a lawless person. So basically, you need to talk about all the episodes of lawlessness that he committed. First, about the landlord, right? How he had, set his house on fire, and then when he ran out of money, he stole and robbed people. So he entered, he broke open into the shop, and then when everyone, when the assistants came in the morning, he ran away. Okay, and then he made himself invisible. He went to Drury Lane, and from there, when he got the bandages and shades, etc., he also stole. He also, attacked the shopkeeper from behind and stole everything. Right, robbed everything from him. Right, so all those episodes you need to say. So this is never expected from a scientist, right? And then he also attacked the innkeeper and his wife, and later when the police came to arrest him, so you have to talk about the the curious episode of the clergyman. So clergyman episode also you need to talk, and about the other extraordinary events. Okay, just now what we discussed, you need to talk about them as well, and later on about the ending as well, right, when Japers came to arrest. So he is a person who does not obey law, definitely. So definitely he is a lawless person. Now we will come to the theme of the story. So what is the theme? So I have already talked about the theme at length in the previous lesson, as well as I have started with that particular thing, from the quote only, right? So that is very important. The story describes the story of a brilliant scientist who degenerated himself into a lawless person. So this was the degeneration of the scientist. Griffin discovered that the human body could become transparent and invisible, right? But he misused this great discovery. He did not use the power of invisibility or the welfare of society and humanity at large. He misused this to threaten, to trouble, and to beat innocent people and also to rob them. He made illegal entries in stores, shops, and stole things from there. He committed a burglary in clergyman's house in Iping. Griffin remained invisible or unseen only when he was without clothes, right? But if he had put on his clothes, he lost his invisibility and he could be seen by people around him. So this lesson gives a message that misuse of science and its great discoveries can make a brilliant scientist like Griffin a monster and a threatening lawless person, right? So when you are basically asked about a theme, you need to give the story, right? The outline of the story, just as I mentioned, and then you talk about the message, right? So that is the theme of the story. It's not simply about an adventure of an eccentric scientist, but it has also a moral message for all of us. And especially when we are here today in today's society, when we are already suffering from a pandemic, so we can understand what exactly is the power of science and technology, and if it is not used for the benefit of human being, how disastrous it could be for people at large. And now I would like to take a short break, guys. And in this break, I would like to understand what your problems are and give you all a good solution to all your problems when it comes to education. So most of you are actually facing a lot of problem. So the first problem that you are facing are doubts. So many doubts, ma'am. We do not have proper channel to actually address our doubts. Doubt solving is impossible nowadays, right or not? Notes, you do not have proper notes as well. Tests and assignments, again a major issue. Competitive exams, again you do not have any. You want to crack competitive exams but do not have guidance. Choice of schedule, choice of language becomes the other major issues. So don't worry, guys, we have a perfect solution for all your problem and one-stop solution for all your problems. So all your doubts are going to be clarified with the help of our class teachers and master teachers. So this team of class teachers that we have over here is only going to cater to your doubts, guys. Only. So we have a special team just for your doubts. So you can think very well now, how can you have any doubts? So definitely you're not going to have any doubts because an entire team is devoted for that, right? Notes after each session, assignments after each session, competitive exams, we do take care of that as well. Olympiads and various other competitive exams, choice of schedule, choice of language, completely according to your needs, completely flexible. Tests that we conduct We also have 200 plus mock test paper that you can solve, and the tests that we do conduct, we also give you a performance report of that. So that helps you in analyzing where actually you are standing. Apart from that, we also have the bonus features like micro courses. So for example, you think that we need another session on this particular chapter, so that gap is also being filled by our micro courses, which offers you chapter wise courses, performance report, as I told you, and the best part is personalized attention, which is not possible in YouTube as well. That is possible in our platform. So what you need to do is jaldi se quickly visit this link vdnt.in/ytpro, and then your options, choose your grade. So you can definitely select 10th CBSE, and then check out the details. Whatever details I have mentioned, you can check them out, check them all out, tally whether whatever I have said is written there, right? And then when you're satisfied, you can go to click on get subscription, and then we will have three types of subscription: 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. So guys, if you ask me, then I would recommend the 6 month subscription. Now why? You can ask me why. Yes, so because that is going to be cost effective, cost friendly. Because if you see 1 month subscription, if you take 1 month subscription each month for 6 months, you actually end up paying more than what you pay all at once for 6 months. Fine. So yes, that is something which is needed, guys. So you can definitely opt for the 6 month subscription, and you need to pay only 9774. So if you calculate mathematically, you will see you are going to pay not more than 9 rupee per class, guys. That is quite reasonable and quite affordable, है ना, guys? So just visit vdnt.in/ytpro. Do not forget the coupon code SWREPRO, because this is going to give you 15% off. If you do not apply this coupon code, you are not going to get the 15% off. So yes, don't forget to avail the 15% discount. Alright. And now we will start with the character sketches. Alright. 1 second. So character sketches, first we will start with Griffin. Griffin was an extraordinary and brilliant scientist. Okay, so he discovered that human body could become invisible and transparent as a sheet of glass. It was the result of his long and constant experimentation, right? And however, he misused his discovery for only personal gains, committing theft and burglaries and beating and robbing innocent persons. So we have already discussed all this. Then how did he earn? He could have definitely earned fame and respect if he utilized his great discovery for the welfare of humanity. But his activities made him a lawless person and an anarchist, right? His invisibility was possible only when he did not wear any clothes. So we have already discussed this, right? He had to remain without clothes even in chilly weather. He had to make illegal entries. So these are the disadvantages of being invisible. Don't you think so, guys? So, but yes, he purposely did that, right? So he could have used this to the advantage of the society, but he misused this, and he only and only used his power for fulfilling his selfish motives without caring for the society. So definitely he got disrespect, disrepute, and dishonor instead of fame and respect. So scientists, they are worthy of fame, they are worthy of respect. We all admire the scientists, but scientists like this, like Griffin, they only bring disaster. Don't you think so? And next character is Mrs. Hall. So Mrs. Hall is the landlord's wife at the local inn in Iping, where Griffin went, and then she was more than happy to receive a guest. And when we first encounter Mrs. Hall, we see that she is a very money-minded person, because she is excusing everything of Griffin only because of the fact that he is paying he's paying her dues, he's paying her in advance, right? So that is why she is excusing everything, right? So definitely she is money minded. And then she was convinced that her strange guest was an eccentric scientist, definitely. But definitely she excused that because he had paid her in advance. So definitely we can say, so from here we can say that she was money minded. Her first encounter was like a money-minded lady, right? So she noticed the strange behavior of her furniture. So you need to talk about the extraordinary events, okay? right? So you need to talk about the extraordinary events which we have already covered. So she was convinced, how she got convinced that her room was haunted by spirits, and finally, when she dared to question the eccentric scientist, she also asked how he entered a locked room. So final confrontation with Griffin towards the end of the story, right? And finally, so this is how she that ended, right? Her final concentration, and which made Griffin even more angry, and he immediately started to throw up all his bandages, and he was immediately headless. And people in the bar, they were looking at the headless man standing in front of them. And the last character that we have is Jaffer. So he's a village constable, and he's absolutely determined. Even though when he sees a headless man, he's still determined that with or without head, I'm going to catch hold of this person. So he is called when the stranger unveils himself and he is creating a chaos. He was quite surprised, definitely, but he was also at the same time determined. But he could not do so. Why? Because it is impossible to catch hold of a person whom he cannot see. So he started receiving invisible fists and blows, right? So finally, he was knocked down by Griffin, and Griffin escaped. So with that, we are going to end this session, but not without a homework question for all of you guys. So do comment on this homework question. Would you like to become invisible? What advantages and disadvantages do you foresee if you did? Think about it. This is the homework question. Do comment on the homework question in the comment section below, and do not forget to like the video, guys. And yes, if you haven't subscribed to this English channel, this is just for you guys. We have come up with this English channel only and only on your demands, right? So do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment on the homework question. See you. Think about the homework question and do comment, and do not forget to subscribe to Vedantu Pro subscription, because we are really looking forward to see you all as a part of our Vedantu family. Alright guys, so take care, and in order to subscribe you need to choose your grade, choose your board, check out the details, click on get subscription, and there are three types of subscription. Whatever you like you can actually select, but the most recommended would be the 6 months wala subscription, as I told you. And you just need to visit this. There is a mistake here. SWREPRO is the code for the English channel, right? SWREPRO. 15% off you are going to avail. Please do not forget SWREPRO is the code for this. Alright. So thank you so much. Take care. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to hit the like button. Do share and do comment your views on the comment section. So this is literature, guys, and literature, it is basically whatever your views are, right? So it is open for all your views, right? So do not forget to mention comment on whatever your views are regarding the chapter, regarding anything, and also mention your doubts if you have any. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.